Right now, join T-Mobile and get an unlimited family plan with Netflix included, so you can watch in more places than ever before on your phone, tablet, or TV. Plus, buy one Samsung Galaxy S9 and get one free with 24 monthly bill credits, so you and your family can binge your Netflix favorites on your new phones. Call 1-800-T-Mobile or visit a store today.
Unlimited data on their network. Video streams at 480p. Small fraction of customers using over 50 gigs per month may have reduced speeds. If you cancel, balance is due. Well-qualified customers, full price, $720 plus tax. Finance agreements required. Netflix for 2 screens. Terms apply.
Blog Talk Radio.
On strong, grab a cold one, sing a country song. People in the water, some on the sand. At the beach, folks to get real tan. Daytime, nighttime, anytime's the right time. Come on out, let's play. Summertime fun. Yeah, we love summertime fun. Come on out and get yourself some. Summertime has everything you want. Yeah, the Lord's so good to see. Don't need no alarm clock warning. When it's right here, right now, everybody say, come on out, let's play. Oh, 40 hours Monday through Friday. Play Saturday, church on Sunday. Friday night, gonna get right out on town till the early morning light. With each sunrise comes a new day. Gotta get out, gotta go play. Yeah, we love summertime fun. Yeah, we love summertime fun. Come on out and get yourself some. Everyone's gonna get out on town. Come on out and gather round. Turn to the right, turn to the left. Everybody keep in step. Oh my, how we love summertime fun. Daytime, nighttime, anytime's the right time. Come on and get you some. We're to a party down at the beach with a band and so much more. Oh my, the beach was like a candy store. Talking about love, sweet, sweet, sweet love, yeah, love. Come on out and get yourself some. Gotta get out if you wanna have fun. Here we love summertime fun. Yeah, we love summertime fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday night. Yeah, this is Thursday night. This is Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason. We had a show on Tuesday night, so I'm a day ahead of myself. I keep thinking it's Friday, and it's not. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the show tonight. That song is a brand new release by my guest, the Daniel Paul Band. See, I can't even talk. It's called Summertime Fun. Now, before we introduce this wonderful, wonderful music artist and get on with the show, you know we have to do some housekeeping. But if you like that song and I wanted to get up and dance, but I'm tethered to the studio board here, so I couldn't. If you like that song, we're going to tell you how you can go and download it. It's an amazing song because this is an amazing band. We have some more of his music, but like I said, let's do the housekeeping first. Welcome to the show, everyone, and I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this time tomorrow we should be at 125,000 plus listeners. I know that sounds like it's insane. It is insane. It's all of your fault. All of y'all, listener, guest alike. It's all of y'all's fault that this show is so over the top, and I am so appreciative of it. We are heard in over 200 countries. We are heard on Spotify. We are heard on iHeartRadio. We are heard on TuneIn Radio, FM.com. We are heard on Podcast Garden, Podcast.com, SoundCloud, Nextcloud, Spreaker, Stitcher, YouTube, iTunes, and a host of other podcasts that I don't even put the show up on. Somebody else does. So with all that being said, this show has a reach now of almost 200,000 listeners with the show itself and with the podcast that I put it up on. And I'm just so grateful and humbled. And Australia, you guys y'all are the best. Y'all are the biggest listening audience that we have just on the show. So please, please, please support our musicians. They're all indie artists. None of them are mainstream. They are all indie, and they all could use your support. Start by supporting the Daniel Paul Band in his new release, Summertime Fun, and we're going to play some more of his music here shortly. But first, let me just tell you, there's two ways to get on this show. I know y'all are going, what is she doing? I do it every time we do the show. Y'all know that. We are getting into the month of December. We're almost filled up with the month of December for the show. I'm rolling over into next year now, ladies and gentlemen. I am booked months in advance, and I love it. I absolutely love it because that tells me that people want to come here. They know it's worth their time, and I appreciate it. There's two ways to get on the show. You can either come on as a guest. I don't care if you're a music artist, if you're an author, if you're a politician, if you have a passion, if you have a cause. You want to talk religion, you want to talk politics, we'll put you on the show. That's why we call it Off the Chain here. It's unscripted, it's unadulterated, and who knows what's going to go on. This is what we do. If, on the other hand, you have a cause, you have a passion, you have a book, you have music, you have art, you have something that you want to get out there into the World Wide Web, you can run an ad on my show for $10 a month, 30 days or 31 days, depending on however many shows I have in that month. But for 30 days, I have 4 shows a week as a general rule. Every night of that show, I run your ad. I'm not doing it to get rich. I am not going to get rich. I know what ads cost in the radio world, and they're not cheap. But for $10 a month, ladies and gentlemen, I'll run your ad because people have been so kind to me over the years and have helped me along in my career that I am trying to pay it forward because I can never pay it back. I want each and every one of you to succeed, and in order to do that, you have to send me your stuff. So if you want an ad run, it can be in an MP3 format. It can be a written ad that I read aloud on the show, which I'll be doing here shortly with 3 different sponsors, for $10 a month. Now, if for some reason, because most of y'all know my husband is very, very ill, and if I have to reschedule shows, your ad goes with the rescheduled of the shows. The ad follows the show. You're going to get your 30 days. If you want to renew the ad, you send me another $10. I mean, it's so simple. I know you're saying, well, how do I contact you? You contact me at offthechainradio@yahoo.com. Offthechainradio@yahoo.com. That's simple. I'll tell you what to do, how to do, when to do. Now, with that being said, I want to welcome a new sponsor to the show. He's been a guest on this show. He's an author. His name is John Isaacs Jones. And he has this little book called Alabama Stories. Now, he is from Alabama. He's from Jackson County up in that area, Birmingham, Alabama. I used to go over there a lot. So when I read his short stories called Alabama Stories, I thought I had gone to Alabama. I mean, those stories are so, so good. And he writes them through the eyes of a 12-year-old boy. So you've got to go and no, y'all can't go now. You got to wait. Go to Amazon and look up John Isaac Jones and download Alabama Stories. They are absolutely the best. Now, the very first sponsor that I had on this show, her name is Cece Chamberlain. She's been with me several months now. She has a podcast of her own, and it's called Inside Your Life with Cece. And her podcast is a motivational, passionate conversation where she interviews people who are indeed living their true purpose. And it doesn't matter if it's a boxer or if it's a history enthusiast or an author. What she does is she strives to give people hope for a brighter day with her inspirational words. So download, subscribe, and listen as Cece guides you to pursue your dreams for you to live your best life possible. Her wonderful, wonderful show is available on podcast.com, iTunes, Google Play, and everywhere that podcasts are available. And if you don't think that ads work, trust me, they do. This next ad is by author Diane Moat. And I told you earlier that Australia is our biggest listening base. Well, because of the ad that she placed with me, her book went to number 1 in Australia. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ads work. Trust me, they work. Diane has a series called the Sam Holden series. The first in the series was Dogfight. That was the book that went to number 1. Doggone. That's the book that went to number 1. The second in the series is Dogfight. And it goes like this. Wherever a helpless animal whimpers in the dark and wherever the system fails to protect said animals, she'll be there, and she isn't giving up anytime soon, so you've been warned. When Sam Holden receives a tip about a brutal dog fighting ring, she embarks on one of her most dangerous acts of vigilantism yet. The monster known as the puppeteer circles Sam's world while she unknowingly circles his. And while they chase each other, will Sam put those that she loves most in harm's way in order to break up this ring? With time running out and animals in need, the dangerous life Sam's created begins to eclipse any other life that she could ever lead. Go to Amazon after the show, not now. Pull up Diane Moat and look at Doggone and Dogfight, especially if you are animal lovers. These books are absolutely phenomenal. Now, I told y'all that I would tell you about my guest tonight. He's been on the show before. He is out of Nashville, and he is Daniel Paul, and he has the Daniel Paul Band. And that was his song, his newest release, Summertime Fun, that I just got the final cut an hour and a half before the show. And he said, can you put this one up? If I didn't love him so much, I would have throttled him. But anyway, because I love him, I did. He is an artist, a songwriter, a guitar player, and a producer. He was born Daniel Paul Gilbert in Muskegon, Michigan. He started playing guitar when he was 10 years old. He is an Air Force veteran. Thank him for his service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He lived for many years in Colorado Springs, and he has a background in sales and marketing. He has lived for over 7 years in Nashville. And he met songwriter-artist Robert Burgeis, and they became great friends. Together, Robert and Daniel recorded Under the Nashville Moon. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard that song, no, you cannot go now. That is one beautiful song. It was in my playlist, and I think I took it down, but it is an absolute beautiful, beautiful song. Also, Dance a Little Jig and Paradise for Two. Among other Nashville songwriting friends are Tony Stampley, Garrett Walker, Dave Pahanish, and many others who gave him moral support to keep writing. He's back and forth to Nashville writing a rainbow with lots of his great music to be shared with the world. The Daniel Paul Band is made up of friends of Daniel Paul. So you might be surprised at some of who those friends are on these songs. Late in 2017, the Daniel Paul Band released Under the Nashville Moon CD on cdbaby, Spotify, iTunes, and many more music sites. So after the show, ladies and gentlemen, after the show, go to Spotify, go to Reverb Nation, go to iTunes, look this band up. You will not be sorry. And with that, I say, how are you, Daniel? Welcome to the show again.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I'm telling you. So let's play catch-up before we start talking about music and this wonderful new
Okay.
song. What have you been doing?
Well, been doing a lot of writing and recording. This is that song "Summertime Fun" is the probably the single from the second release. It should be out. It should be on Spotify within a couple, probably 2-3 weeks. And that we just, as you said, we just got it from the studio today, actually, and at final mix. And other than that, just writing, recording, doing a few songwriters shows here and there in Michigan, and that, and been keeping in touch with all my buddies around the country when they're traveling. So that's about it.
You've been performing, right?
Well, yeah, we've been performing too, doing a few shows here and there at some breweries. Michigan seems to have a bunch of breweries popped up and that, and micro breweries and that. So we've been doing some shows at those, and we actually started putting a road band possibly together, and that I'll know more about that next couple weeks, to do some more major shows, concerts, and that as they come up. But mostly writing. I love being in the studio. It's like you walk in with a thought in something in your head, and you walk out a day or 2 days out of the studio, and it's you've got the only copy in the world that exists, and so it's kind of unique for me. I always call it my portfolio.
I understand that. If that's I'm happiest when I'm writing or when I'm doing this show.
Yep,
because
yep.
you get to see something grow from a little seed to something beautiful that you want to share with the world. And no, ladies
Yep.
and gentlemen, you can't go now. You just got to hold your knickers, because we've got some more music coming that Daniel has written and produced and created, and we're going to be playing it a little bit later on in the show. What made you write Summertime Fun? It's a catchy song. It's a catchy title. It's toe-tapping. My vision of being by the riverbank with pickup trucks and beer coolers in the back and a group of friends and hanging out. What made you write such an upbeat, beautiful song?
Little of all that, but on top of that, it was just basically I wanted something besides a love song and all that. I've written a lot of love songs, written a lot of songs that are kind of off the wall, but I wanted a title that went along with the time of the year, and we had Under the Nashville Moon CD that's up on Spotify. We had a Christmas song, Oh How I Love Christmas, and I thought I'm going to write a summer-based song, and that's what I did.
Well, I tell you what, if that thing doesn't go off the charts, it's not because we haven't promoted the daylights out of it, because it is absolutely amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, his songs are on Spotify. He also has a Reverb Nation page. We'll tell you where all y'all can reach him. He's also on iTunes, and this gentleman is such the consummate artist. You are, Daniel. You're reminiscent to me of old country. You tell a story in your country singing and in your songs, and then you're a storyteller.
Well, that's what music's supposed to be. I think.
Absolutely, I agree. But sometimes not so much.
Yeah, you can only write about six-packs so many ways.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And, so, yeah, it's well, I was going to add to that Under the Nashville Moon that's up on Spotify right now, that was originally written because a publisher asked me if I had anything that I could pitch to Hank Jr. Bocephus right away. And I said, no, but I'll go home and write one. So I did that night and recorded it 2 days later. and had it in his hands. And, well, of course, didn't get to Bocephus in time, but whether he'll do it or not, I don't know. Maybe never. But it got me to write a song that I hadn't even thought about, and it was basically based upon what I felt some of the issues might have been in a songwriter's life going to Nashville, and also in a songwriter being Bocephus might have encountered in his life. So and it came out that way.
And since you brought that up,
yeah,
let's talk about that, because before we went live, we were discussing Nashville and how hard it has become to get bands and people to go into the studio and record. For whatever reason, they either think they're too good, they're too lazy, or they think somebody's going to hand them something. That's not the way success works. You have to work at it.
Yeah.
You got to get up and go to work.
Nashville isn't as bad as I'm. My wife and I bought my wife a house in Michigan, and where we're originally from, and so I go back and forth to Nashville. But in Michigan, it's hard to record here because a lot of people just don't. They've lost the dream. They've lost the cause of why you write music, to make everybody feel good.
Why in the world would they lose? Why would they become so narrow-minded? Okay, so they're not making $1 million in record sales. If you can put a smile on one person's face with a piece of music, a poem, or a story, you have succeeded.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And that's all. I mean, I don't expect any more than, hey, I really love that song, and that makes it all complete for me. And if it happens to bring some money with it, that's great. But you know, you gotta. It's a passion with me, so I'll keep doing it until the day I die.
Well, if somebody tried to take music away from you, Daniel, they might as well kill you, because music is part of your DNA. It's in your soul. It's like the color of your hair, the color of your eyes. You can't live without writing music. That would be like sewing your mouth shut or tying your hands behind your back and telling you to try to eat. It's impossible for you to do.
Yes, it is.
And it comes through in your music.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it comes through in your finished product.
Yeah. Many times I set the guitar down and say, I'm done. I'm not going to do it anymore. And that years ago. And there was one time I didn't touch a guitar, but just to strum a few chords and that for about 3 years. And I was finding I was miserable and unhappy and totally frustrated with life. And then I started playing and writing again, and I found myself again.
Exactly, because when you did that self-imposed exile, what you did was basically is you cut off one of your limbs. Yep,
I sure did.
And that's you were cheating yourself of your quality of life and your ability to bring sunshine into someone else's life, because that's what music does. It reaches the soul, the emotions, it pulls at the strings of people that nothing else does. Not even a good book or a good movie. Music can find that deep, dark spot that nobody goes to.
Yeah, I find that out myself every time I listen to somebody else's music.
So don't ever put that guitar down again. I will send the flying monkeys up to Michigan to get you.
Okay. Okay.
Now, for when I went and did my deep dive on you, for a while, you ran radio stations, did you not?
I worked as a sales manager in one radio station. I worked for another major country radio station in Michigan as a salesperson, senior salesperson. Then I went into TV and sold TV commercials and produced TV commercials, and and sold ads, spots, schedules for them, and placed them for them. And I also had my own advertising agency for about 3 years that I handled other local clients and regional clients advertising. And I did some jingles for them, and everybody said you couldn't sell any jingles to local advertisers, and I managed in my first 3 months to sell something like, I think it was five advertising jingle packages, and we were charging pretty good money, but they all liked it because it was something that was totally different than what you heard on the radio at that time. Background music.
Well, the reason I asked that question is because as an indie artist, and you know this because you've been out there like I have since before, Running Water was Running Water.
Right.
As indie artists, we have to understand that we have to market ourselves. We're the brand. What we produce is just a byproduct, but we are the brand, and we have to go out there and we have to say, okay, this is who we are. This is the reason I bring y'all on the radio show, because people want to know what you're all about. And in knowing what you're all about, then they understand why you do what you do, or some of them do. Some of them, I'm not sure if they have a clue or not, but God love them.
Yeah.
But as indie artists, ladies and gentlemen, these guys have to work 1,000 times harder to produce a third of the income that your traditional artists do, because number one, they don't have the money that backs them. They don't have the big dollars that can go out and do explosions with thousands of dollars worth of advertising, because most of us are working on a shoestring and a prayer. Most of the time it's just the prayer. So we have to rely on each other to promote each other and to sell the product. We already sold ourselves. Now we have to sell the product. So this is why I'm saying, when we get off of this show, go and listen, download Daniel's music, because he is absolutely and if you don't, you're losing out. And tell 5 friends. That's all you have to do. Those 5 friends will tell 5 friends who'll tell 5 friends. Am I right, Daniel?
Right. So right.
And at the end of the show, when I send you the links and all the podcasts tomorrow, you can blast them all over God's creation and say, listen to this. And before long, you're going to be calling me up and say, Yvonne, please stop. I don't want to sell any more music. Please stop.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'll say that, but I'll probably be overwhelmed by it.
Which is not a bad problem to have.
That's
and
right.
With that, I'm going to play a couple of ads, and then I'm going to play another one of the songs that you sent me that I absolutely love. And if you hear banging around in my studio, I'm up dancing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, indie country music artist, the Daniel Paul Band. I want to say Paul Daniel because I just like it that way. But anyway, it's the Daniel Paul Band, and we will be right back.
Do you have cougars on your porch swing? Are horses your new best friend? Do your nicest shoes get buried knee-deep in snow as your toes turn blue? Are you bothered by wolves at your woodpile? No, not that kind of wolf. Join wildlife artist and author Nancy Quinn and her family as they discover an exciting new life in Go West, Young Woman, a true Montana adventure. Available online and in bookstores. Or visit QuinnWildlifeArt.com for a personalized signed copy. Critics agree, it's a hoot.
Hi, this is Winona and Jade inviting you to join us and our wonderful guests on the And I Thought Women's Cave podcast on Blog Talk Radio to learn more about our books, the And I Thought series, and the Misfit Guides. They're available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com. Or just to see what your ladies are up to, you can find all of that out on www.andwethought.com. So peace and love from Winona and Jade and our books. You're so silly. You silly. Remember, did you write that? That's funny. Remember to visit us at BlogTalkRadio.com.
To right, spin around, baby, that's right. We've got burgers, we've got beer. We're gonna have a good time here. I don't have much money. Well, I'm a hard-working man, you see. Diamonds, what you did is beyond free. I'll get you a pair of Danforth boots so you can come along and dance and sing with me. Where you wanna go? I don't know. What you wanna do? Be with you. Friends come along, yes indeed. We're gonna have a party. Right, spin around, baby, that's right. We've got burgers, we've got beer. We're gonna have a party here. Dance a little jig, left to right, spin around, baby, that's right. Take another shot, cheers with the beer. We're gonna have a party here. Texas, baby, we like that country songs. Made a little money, and Nashville was on our way back home. We recorded our own CD so you can all dance and sing along. I don't know what you want to do, be with you. Friends come along, yes indeed. We're gonna have a party. Dance a little jig, left to right, spin around, baby, that's right. We've got burgers, we've got beer. We're gonna have a party here. Dance a little jig, left to right, spin around, baby, that's right. Take another shot, chase with a beer. We're gonna have a party here.
We are back. This is Off the Chain with you. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, the Daniel Paul Band, and that was one of his songs called Dance a Little Jig. And, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I was sort of dancing in my chair. So if you heard squeaking, it was my chair squeaking. Daniel, where did that song come from? I see visions of a barn dance and people dancing and singing and cooking out and drinking a beer and doing the Texas two-step.
Well, that basically came to me when I'd been trying to write a new song and I wanted an up-tempo. I was in a time and place where I wanted all fast songs and I wanted something that had some grit to it. And I couldn't come up with anything, and all of a sudden in my sleep, I went to bed and I frustrated and woke up about 3:30 in the morning and grabbed a guitar and pretty much almost half the words are better and the music all was right there in my head. All I had to do is play it, and that's how it came about. And I of course, at that time I was living in Goodletts, Tennessee, and it just flowed right flowed and all came together all at one time.
Well,
a lot of my songs do.
Well, of course, because that's your craft. I mean, and when you let your mind rest, when you go to bed and say, okay, screw it, just let the voices in my head do what they're going to do, great things happen.
Yeah, and that one just was a good surprise, pleasant surprise.
Well, it's got an upbeat tempo. It gives me visions of a Saturday night, and people out having a cookout in a barn and Texas two-stepping and enjoying each other's company with friends and family, and it makes me happy.
I'm glad. That's good.
I like it.
Good.
And speaking of happy, I had an epiphany while I'm listening to the songs. You were talking about you were going to press some CDs with the second group of songs, and I have a very good friend who has a radio show called 6 Ways to Sunday, and he plays indie artists. His name is Christopher Plain. He is on my friends list. I want you to hook up with him because he's also known as the music god, and this man, he loves indie artists. He plays a lot of indie artists. And he lives for music. He's probably forgotten more about music than I'll ever know. I mean, he is an absolute, I can't keep it. He makes my head spin. But hook up with him because he can give you even more exposure on 6 Ways to Sunday with his show. And he can even do an interview with you too.
Good. Great.
So I will help hook you guys up. Let me put his name down so I don't forget because also there's another gentleman. He owns MTS Management. And I have gotten a lot of my indie artists that I've interviewed from him. His name is Michael Stover. I want you to hook up with him too. Okay.
I will do that.
Because you need to be heard, my friend. You have such a gift and such a natural talent. When I listen to you sing, there's no effort to it. It's just like putting on a pair of shoes or a pair of pants. You just do it without thinking about it.
Well, that's sometimes it isn't that easy, but I wish it was.
Well, the finished product makes it sound like it's just what you do.
Yeah, it's all fun and it's all good. Now,
where are you going to be before I play this last song? Because this song, ladies, is just too cute. Where are you going to be in the next month or so people in your area can go listen to you?
I don't know. I'm probably going to be doing a couple song segments at Founders Brewery. That happens on Tuesday nights in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and working on getting. Actually, I haven't got too many of the jobs confirmed yet, but I'm starting to, they can always find me on. They can also find me on. I always sneak in on Twitter, and it's my Twitter address for the Daniel Paul Band is @DanielPaulBand. So it's really easy to find me on Twitter, and I usually post a few songs there too.
See, ladies, y'all got to go get me his music. You're crazy if you don't, because he is Bocephus and Alan Jackson and Gary Allen and a lot of my other greats that I can't think of right now because I just went brain stupid because I'm talking to a wonderful human being. All those people rolled up into one. When I was
wow.
when I was listening to Summertime Fun, you had that quality that Hank does, that Bocephus has, that don't give a hang attitude. I'm here, like it or not, and it comes through. I love it.
Well, I'm really happy about that.
And you've known me long enough. But you've known me long enough to know that I only speak the facts.
I do. That I do.
And so let's play Cruising Down Maine before I'm sitting here and it's calling me, play me. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Off the Chain. I'm your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, the Daniel Paul, with the Daniel Paul Band, and we are going to play Cruising Down Maine, and we're going to talk about this when we get done. So we'll be right back. Oh, my word. I just stepped back into the 1950s.
Yes, ma'am. That was what I wanted to do.
What an amazing... You've got to make a video with that song.
Well, that was actually supposed to be part of a soundtrack, but it didn't make it. So it didn't. They didn't have the cruising. They didn't have the cruising scene. I guess it was. That's been quite a few years ago, and I dug that song. We had that song mastered, and I kept saying I'm going to release on the next album or CD I put out, and I never did. And so I was going through some stuff, and we had it digitally mastered, and so we remastered it, and I said I'm going to put it out. It doesn't really match everything that I'm doing right now, but I'm going to release that, and so that's going to be on the new album also.
I heard the horns in the first bar of that song, and I went, okay, where's my poodle skirt, my bobby socks, and my saddle Oxfords?
Yeah, that was actually that saxophone player had never been in a recording studio in his life. He and his brothers all played sax, and he had played with a lot of local bands and a lot of people, but he never recorded anything. And unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago, and his family heard that I had some stuff he did in the studio, so I made him a copy of it and gave it to him, and had tears in their eyes when they got it. He was just a fantastic saxophone player, Paul Van Such.
Oh, fantastic! That doesn't even begin to describe that piece, Daniel. I'm speechless, and I'm very seldom speechless. I'm sitting here seeing drive-in eateries and waitresses on roller skates and rag tops and bobby socks and poodle skirts and saddle Oxfords and cigarettes rolled up in the arm of a T-shirt. I mean, wow.
I'm glad you liked it.
No, I didn't like it. I loved it.
You loved it?
I loved it.
Good.
I'm sitting here thinking, if you will allow me, I have to put this one up on the Reverb Nation site too, with an external link so people can go and download it from your page.
Okay. That won't be up till the new album, but yeah, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to.
And I want to use it on the show some. I want to use all your show with some of my opening songs because, I mean, your songs is, that word I can't say anymore, but you got me all tongue twisted.
Oh, cool. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much.
I have not heard music like that in I'm 67, so 60 years at least.
Well, we put our heart and souls into that one. That one probably took me the longest to produce. Put it together, record it, and produce it. It was a big challenge, and of course we thought it was going to end up in a soundtrack, so we really took some time and put a lot of time and effort and money into it. But it came out the way I dreamed it.
Please
I'm going to try. Hopefully I can do that because I would love to. It's just
because if you don't, it's going to drive me crazy in my head. There's a movie in my head now, and it's your fault, James Dean, and that time period when post World War II and the Age of Innocence, and oh my goodness, sock hops and hot fudge sundaes and drive-in movies and the birth of rock and roll.
I kept thinking the opportunity would come back where they'd have some movie in with a cruise scene or some kind of car scene, and that they could use that in. But I never really, and quite honest with you, I don't have the connections in the Hollywood areas. I don't know Ron Howard's phone number, so.
Who knows? It could still happen. Ron Howard could hear it on this show. Who knows?
That's
or he
right.
could hear it on
That's
one of the.
Right.
10,000 podcasts I put it up on. I mean, this, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all don't go and download Daniel's music so you can listen to it over and over again and get other people to download it and buy it and save it for posterity, you ain't living. I'm telling you, this man is absolutely over the top. You, so talented, so multi-talented. This is old rock and roll, cruising music. Wow.
Yep.
So you went from Bo Cephas to Elvis. I mean, or the Beach Boys, or one of the other young groups.
Well, that's the luxury of being a songwriter. You don't have to stick with one type of music. Like I said, though, I wrote that specifically for an idea for a soundtrack, but you know, and it's been a few years, but I mean, quite a few years actually. But good music doesn't go bad.
No, it does. It's timeless. It's ageless. And good music, it may go into hibernation for a while, but it always comes back out.
Yeah, in one shape or another.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. You're always surprising me with exceptional music, but today I thought Summertime Fun and Dance a Little Jig, but this one that's the cherry on top of the hot fudge sundae. I mean, that's the cream of the crop, my friend.
Thank you.
Well, I can't wait to see what you have for me next time.
Okay.
Seriously, you're regular on the show now. You're not going to get away,
right.
Because with music like this, you have to keep coming back and bringing your music. It's absolutely, I don't know, maybe next time you'll sound like David Bowie. I don't know with you. You're a chameleon.
Well, we are working. I've been trying to get a tribute to John Lennon, a song I wrote as a tribute song to John Lennon, and if I have my way, I'm going to record it, and then whatever happens after that is it. But it's right down John Lennon's alley. So.
Oh my word! And you have to launch it on the show. You realize that, right?
Yeah. I know. I told you about it, so I have to.
Yeah, you have to launch it on the show. And if it's anything like what we've heard these last two shows, they're probably going to have to tie me to the chair, because it makes me want to jump up, run outside, and scream to the world, go buy this guy's music. You won't be sorry.
Okay, I love it.
Well, see, music, it's like I told you, music is storytelling. Mm-hmm. And it's just set to chords and to bars and to instruments, but it's storytelling. And Cruising Down Main is reminiscent of the fun we used to have as teenagers, because you didn't have all the electronics we have today. You didn't have all the shopping malls and everything. You cruised up and down Main Street to be seen. That's where the kids hung out. Nobody cared.
Yep, that's true.
Because everybody knew where we were, and they knew if we got in trouble, they'd beat us home, and our parents would beat us. You know, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
good
my
days.
goodness. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Daniel, thank you for making my night.
Well, thank you for making my night.
Wow.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my music.
Oh, honey, the pleasure is all mine. And trust me, because see, I got crazy and busy and didn't listen to it before I uploaded it to the soundboard tonight, because I take care of my husband and things are kind of crazy around here today. So I downloaded and then turned around and uploaded, and I didn't listen to them. So listening to them for the first time with you on the show was an even greater event for me, and a whole lot more fun, because I got to see the wow factor with you on the radio.
Hey, it was great. I love that wow factor.
So you're not going to believe this, my darling friend, but our time is almost up.
Okay. Well,
so what I want,
it's been fun.
I want you, yeah, and you will come back, right?
Yes, I will. I'd love to come back. Love to do sometime right before December, so we can maybe feature the Christmas song.
Let's do that. I've got some time in December. We'll bring you back. When I get back to my desk, I think I still got that Saturday night, the first weekend in December. I don't remember what date it is, but I think that Saturday night's open if you want it.
Okay, yeah. I'll be glad to do it. Okay.
First Saturday night in December.
Know.
Okay. And you'll give me some just send me a whole bunch of songs, and we'll just play songs and talk about songs all night. Okay, will do. Now, tell the folks where you can be found. And I'm going to hook you up with Michael Stover and with Chris Palin playing, too. So tell the folks where you can be found. Well, the Under the Nashville Moon CD is up by the Daniel Paul Band, is up on Spotify, cdbaby, iTunes, iHeartRadio, but you can buy it and download it to Spotify and cdbaby. And Dance a Little Jig is on that CD that's up there right now that we played tonight. And you can also contact me, or once in a while I'm the only one that gets on my Daniel Paul Twitter account. It's at Daniel Paul Band on Twitter. And then if you go to Facebook, you can go to the Facebook music group called Under the Nashville Moon, and that is managed by myself only too. So, I guess that's about it. Is Cruising Down Main available? Yes. No, that's not available, but they can listen to that also on ReverbNation.com/Daniel Paul. And there's a lot of my songs are listed there. They can listen to them, and I think they can stream them, but I'm not sure. But they can listen to the whole songs there at no charge or anything. You don't have to be part of anything. And Cruising Down Main Street is on that. Well, you gotta get them where they can download them, because I'm gonna tell you, Cruising Down Main Street, they're gonna be screaming for that song. Yeah, that's part of this next CD, and like I say, we're working on getting that up to cdbaby and Spotify probably in the next 2 weeks. Okay, I'm holding you to it. Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know that at the end of my show, I always say the same thing, because I do my best to live up by it. It's very important to me, and that is, people will forget your name, they will forget what you look like, they'll forget what you're wearing, but they will never, ever, ever forget how you make them feel. And we're all traveling on a journey, and no one knows what our journey is but us. And when we go out of our way to be rude, crude, ill-mannered, and socially unacceptable to someone else who may or may not be hurting, that's not very nice, because they can't help the journey they're on. So what I say is, be nice, be kind, say something good to that person, because number one, you might save their life, and number two, they will always remember it. And my prayer is this, that every listener, every guest that tunes into this show or comes on as a guest on this show, understand that you are the important person in the room. All 200,000 of you. You are the most important person in the room. And I want you to know that you're very important to me, because without you, there would be no show. And if you want to achieve greatness, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if it's garbage collector, if it's clothes designer, if it's president of the United, whatever it is, don't ask permission. Just go out and do it. If you want to be a mom, what I call a domestic engineer, you do it and be great at it, because there are those that will want you to stay down in that rabbit hole with them. Don't do it. Just go out and achieve greatness. With that being said, we will be off tomorrow night, Saturday night. We will be here with Lark Griffin, author, at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. I am your host, Yvonne Mason, with my guest, Daniel Paul, with the Daniel Paul Band. Go and listen to his music. Look him up on Facebook and on Twitter. And this is Off the Chain, and we wish you all, until we see you again, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful good evening. Daniel, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
You are so welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, until tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, we say adios. Okay, so you know that I'm going to, when the show archives, when we get off the phone, I'm going to put the link up on my page. I'm going to tag you in it. I want you to take it in and put it out there. And then tomorrow, when it goes up on all the podcasts, I'll link on my page, and I'm going to tag you in it. Take it and run with it. I'll even send you the Reverb Nation page, too, because I want to put up, you tell me which other song you want me to put up on Reverb Nation. You want me to put up Under Nashville Moon, or you want me to put up one of these?
Well, Under the Nashville Moon, they can actually download it Spotify right now.
Okay.
So
what I'll do is I'll put it up, and I'll find your Spotify link and put it as an external link for them to go and download it.
Okay. I appreciate it, and
all right,
we'll
my
keep
darling.
in touch.
Yes, and I will send Chris Plain and Michael Stover your information, and I want you to follow up with them because Michael Stover is absolutely fantastic, and I will put you down for the first Saturday in December and send you the date.
Okay, I appreciate it, and thank you very much. God bless.
Same to you, my darling, and keep writing and playing and singing.
Oh, I have to. No other way to live.
Nope, and let the world know you're out there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All right, darling. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
What a matchup!
And what a team, Mike. Metro PCS and the iPhone SE for $0 on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Oh, impressive.
Play with the best. Switch to Metro PCS and get a 32-gig iPhone SE for $0. Metro PCS. Coverage not available in some areas, plus sales tax and $10 activation fee. Claim based on talk and text. Not valid for active numbers currently on a T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in the past 90 days. See store for details and terms and conditions.
When your battery goes dead, everything can come to a stop. Don't take a chance on getting stranded. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get your battery tested free of charge. If your battery does need to be replaced, O'Reilly Auto Parts can help you find the exact Superstart battery that fits your car or truck at a guaranteed low price. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly.